Hey, what's up everybody? My name is James Gilbert, and today I'm bringing you a 5-part video on how to build your own gaming computer. The first is going to be the intro, which I just introduced myself. The second part is going to be tools. We'll just get that over with. Basic tools is a screwdriver and some zip ties. A knife isn't required, but it comes in handy with the zip ties. And next we'll go into the core components. We are putting it all into a budget-friendly Corsair, just a standard black case. On the inside we put just regular old fans with red outline, so we get this red and black feel to the build. Alright, so we just talked about the tools. We got the screwdriver and the zip ties and your knife. For right now, let's put that to the side. Now for the core components, that's going to be the next part to the video, is everything you see on this table right here. We're going to start off with the AMD 4300 CPU. That's pretty much the brains of the computer. Next we have our RAM. We got 4 sticks of 4 gigabytes of HyperX Fury. Then you got the CPU cooler, which is going to sit on top of that little thing right there and cool it down. And then we got the motherboard, which self-explanatory. Everything goes on here. Now we got the power supply, which is probably the most important piece to it because it's the thing that runs everything. Then we got your storage. And then you got my favorite part. We got the GTX Titan X Galactic Empire Limited Edition Star Wars collectible GPU right here. I'm so excited to be incorporating this into this build. Alright, so for the first part of this build, I like to put the CPU onto the motherboard before we get it into the case. Now this is an important part. You gotta unlock it and open it up. See how it kind of moved? Alright, once you do that, see this little gold arrow? You want to line it up with this notch and just very gently set it in. Now once you get it in there, don't put any pressure on it, just lightly put it in there. Whenever you get it in there, just close that down to where it locks. And you got your CPU in. Alright, so once you got the CPU in, we're going to put the CPU fan on top of the CPU. But before we can do that, we need to apply thermal paste, which I'm not sure if you can see it real good. There you go. Got some thermal paste. Now what you want to do is just right in the middle, put about a pea-size little glob on the CPU. Alright, so in continuing with putting on the CPU cooler, we're gonna put this thing on that. But first we gotta put the brackets on there. So slide it on like that. Screw one in at a time. They don't have to be super duper tight, but kind of snug. Try to make sure it's not touching anything too. That wouldn't be good. Alright, now you want to see the bottom of it, make sure it's good and clean. What you want to do is just gently, let me get both hands down for this, gently just set it on top, make sure it fits good. Alright, get this little piece. Now your cooler is going to be a little different than this one. It'll be a lot smaller. unless you buy something similar to this. Alright, make sure it's lined up. Let's see here. Alright, so after kind of hand tightening them down, go ahead and grab your handy dandy screwdriver that I mentioned earlier in the video, and just go ahead and tighten them all the way down. Till they're snug. I'll do the same on this side. Not sure how well y'all can see this, but pretty much doing the same thing on the other side. Alrighty. Alright, now we're going to put the fans on the CPU cooler. They should just snap right into place. Let's see if I can, like that. There you have it. If you come over here, we can just plug the 3-pin adapter, not sure how well you can see it, into one of these babies down here. I will do it in the first one just to make things a little easier. Let's see. Had it on backwards, my bad. There you have it. Alright, so we successfully installed the CPU and the cooler to go on top. Now the easy part, the RAM. Now what you want to do is just align this notch up with that notch, and it should just go right on in. Until you hear the click. Now we're going to do that with the rest. Sometimes it requires just a little force. There you have it. Make sure they're all snug, and that's how you install the RAM. Alright, so now we're ready to install the motherboard into the case. Now I've already took off the side panels. This is what one of my side panels look like. You want to remove both sides before you install the motherboard to obviously give yourself room to work with. Another thing before you put the motherboard in there is this little piece right here. Now some motherboards already have it in them, or some have them out. If yours is out, all you want to do is just come in behind here, get it in there, and just pop it in. Sometimes they can be a little booger. There you go. Should be in there pretty good. Alrighty, so pretty much just to install the motherboard, you want to drop it down into your case. Here, before I drop it down, see these little screw holes? Make sure they line up with the holes on your motherboard. Like I said before, this will all be a little different. Everything's aligned, alright. Alrighty, and then next. Alright, so in some cases your case comes with it, and in other cases your motherboard comes with it, but you should have in total 8 screws to screw in your motherboard. Now let's start with this one. I'm going to come in. I'm going to get it started by hand first, and then you're going to take your handy dandy screwdriver and finish tightening it up, just snug it up. You're just going to do that with the other 7 screws that you got. You're just going to make sure that it's snug. Alright, so after we get the motherboard into place, next we got our power supply. Now here I got a EVGA 500 watt, which is plenty of wattage to run a simple machine like this. Some machines need more just because they got more than one graphics card. In this case, I don't. So let's go ahead and install it. Alrighty, so for the sake of the video, I've already went ahead and run it through this little hole right here. Let's just go ahead and just pop her in there. There we go. Now what you want to do after you get it in there, just come over here to the end and screw in those 4 screws. Alright, what I like to do is to go over them just one more time, make sure they're snug. Don't do that. Alrighty, so after we get the power supply and the motherboard into our case, we can install our hard drives. Now this is as easy as pie. All you want to do is just slide it right on in. Got that. Now for the SSD, on some cases you'll find them up here, sometimes they won't have them. But in this case we're lucky that they do. And we'll just slide it on in like that. Make sure they're both secure. That's how you install your hard drives. Alright, so we got our hard drives installed, our power supply, our motherboard, our RAM, our CPU, and cooler all installed. Now let's move to the GPU. Now this is going to be the key to running your games. You can't run them without this. You don't need one as extravagant, but this is kind of the key to a gaming computer. So without further ado, let me come around here and let's install this bad boy. So what we're going to do, we're going to locate this little slot right here and have it line up to these two. Come on. Alrighty. So you'll hear a little click. That will mean it's in. We can go ahead and put a little self-tightener screw into this little hole right here just to secure it. pretty secure. Alrighty, we got this secure, and much like the graphics card, we're going to install the Wi-Fi card. I guess that's what you could call it. It pretty much connects you to Wi-Fi. Now, if you can get closer, you see these two pins. You just want to line them up just like you did with the graphics card. Line them up to these two. Put them in one of your slots. There you have it. Take another screw. Just screw it in. Alright, we're on step 4, which is cable management and pretty much just plugging everything in. This can be the most time-consuming part of a build, especially with all these cables. So let's just jump right on into it. Alright, so we have the end result here. As you can see, everything's running which that's what yours should look like. You should have, if your graphics card has lights on it, it should be running, and then if your fans have light on it, it should be running and turned on as well. To finish off this video, I want to give many thanks to the people that helped me do this project. I couldn't have done it without them, and those two people are Joshua Blair and Bryce Hayden. I want to thank Josh so much for operating the camera and kind of giving me some tips around building the computer. He was kind of my mentor and helping me learn how to build the computer in the first place. I want to give a huge thanks to Bryce Hayden as well. He was the person who edited this video for me. He did an outstanding job. I can be more than happy with him. So again, I just want to say thanks to everybody for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you see. I'll catch you in the next one.